Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Brendan, and if you didn't know, now you know. Welcome back to the channel, and today we have another Ethereum price prediction and technical analysis for you. Now, Ethereum had a fairly decent sized pullback today, one of the biggest pullbacks that we've seen in a while now for Ethereum, but Ethereum for the most part has been going absolutely parabolic. If you've had your money in Ethereum at any point in the past, you would have been in the green as of today/yesterday. So I really want to break this down, give my thoughts on it, and explain where I think Ethereum can go from here and some strategies that I'm looking at if I do want to enter into Ethereum. So if that sounds interesting at all, make sure you guys stick around for the entire length of the video, as there will be important information discussed the entire way through. But that being said, let's go ahead and break down Ethereum. Now, Ethereum at this level, as I said, is significant because you could have had money in 2018, in 2016. You could have had money in Ethereum this year and you would still be profitable at the point that Ethereum's at right now, because it is at all-time highs. Now, with it being at all-time highs, it's going to be volatile and it's going to see these decent sized pullbacks every now and again because of it being at such a high level. Now, does this mean that it's overbought or oversold or anything like that? I think the answer is no, because the people are still trying to decide where they think Ethereum's fair and equilibrium price is, and we are still deciding that to this day. But with Ethereum breaking over $4,000 to this new all-time high, we did see a pretty nice sell-off, and I want to measure this. We did see a pretty nice sell-off of around 13 to 14% to the downside, immediately of which was getting bought back up. And so of this, we came pretty close down to the 50 EMA, and about 7.5% of this was bought back up immediately, so just over half of what was sold off. Now, this is a pretty good sign, because whenever you're seeing anything at all-time highs get bought back up, I would say usually 61, 62% or more. That's usually a pretty good bounce. Anything up into that point is called the golden fib retracement, and that's where I would be a little bit wary of a dead cat bounce. But this came right down to the 50 EMA, bounced off of this guy over 50%, and this is a pretty good sign that buyers in this area are comfortable buying Ethereum at this price point. Now, obviously, we're going to have to wait and see in the coming days and see how this retracement really fares. But for the most part, it looks like the community is fairly confident and comfortable buying Ethereum below $4,000, which is a pretty big statement to say. Now, volume on this did hit record levels of volume. This is the highest amount of selling volume that we have seen in almost a month of Ethereum, so that was pretty significant as well. And the one thing that I think that we have to be a little bit careful and cautious of here, if we're looking at this at either a 1-day or a 4-hour chart, is the MACD and RSIs showing potentially a little bit of weakness in the bull side of things. Now, I am looking at this, the MACD rounding off and going down towards the downside. We really need to see how much this extends, because if there's not much to this bearish side, we could immediately see double bullish divergence, and Ethereum could be in an even better spot than it was before, as crazy as that is to say. Same sort of thing with the RSI. Nothing too crazy over here, going back in the neutral territories. And for such a volatile drop, I really thought that we were going to lose more strength on Ethereum than we did over here. And the fact that Ethereum is really barely even in that median zone, in that happy in between of the RSI, and really barely even made it there, is still kind of surprising. You know, again, this thing sold off 14%, and it's almost ready to go back into that that overbought territory again. Now, moving this over to the 1-day, I want to take a look at this and kind of break this guy down. Same concept on the indicators and oscillators, but we do see a little bit of a Darth Maul candle, and I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more. But we do see a little bit of a Darth Maul candle forming on this 1-day chart, almost an equal amount of buyers and sellers at this price, the buyers being up here, the sellers being right down here, and Ethereum is still kind of deciding which way it wants to lean, although the daily candle is green, which is a really good sign. A lot of people, have to ask themselves, what do Darth Maul candles mean? There's a lot of controversy around Darth Maul candles, and people are like, oh, they're always bullish or they're always bearish. But I think at this level, if this closes green and this doesn't end red, I think for the most part that this is going to be bullish for one of two reasons. The first one is that the trend is your friend. If it's been bullish and it ends bullish, it'll probably continue to be bullish. The second one being that we had a wick over here, we broke just below that and immediately got bought back up, telling me that the buyers are still comfortable at buying at this level like they were the day before, and also previous resistance is now turned into current support. So where we are previously seeing Ethereum sell off, we are now seeing it get bought back up as support, which is a pretty good sign to see from the bulls over here in this area. Now moving on to the indicators and oscillators. I know I'm moving pretty fast, but I don't want to waste too much time. But looking over at the MACD, same sort of theory and concept applies here. Ethereum is potentially rounding off over here. I mean, the oscillator bands are at like historically large levels. For me to just zoom out here and show you guys what it's looked like since 2016, it is at historically large levels on this daily chart, which is significant. So don't take that for granted. If this does round off, we could see a little bit more selling pressure. I mean, it's very well possible, but that's not to say that this hasn't had that one little dip before continuing to head to the upside. So I really wouldn't count this out yet. It hasn't ended bullish, or it hasn't started to be too bearish yet, and there's really no signs that it could continue to be bearish. The potential is there, but I think it's not absolute, not after all the buying pressure that we saw. Same thing with the RSI over here. I would say that this is potentially even bullish. If this RSI goes above its previous high, that means that Ethereum is continuing to be very, very strong. Especially as if Ethereum ends higher than its previous daily close, which it's trying desperately to do right now. It would be a really, really good sign for Ethereum. So lots of potential on this guy. Obviously, it's moving at 1,000,000 miles an hour right now. Ethereum is being very volatile, and today for one of the first real days that it's been volatile towards the downside. But for the most part, it's been a positive volatile, bouncing off of this 50 EMA on this daily chart and continuing to be very bullish. If you guys remember from one of the past videos that I made not too long ago, I explained how the 50 EMA on Ethereum was looking very, very good, and how Ethereum was doing things that Bitcoin wasn't doing, hence why Ethereum was so bullish. And exactly what that video talked about has come to fruition now. So hopefully you guys were able to stick around and watch that video, because it was a fairly important analysis. So we'll kind of see how this comes and plays to fruition. I would imagine that Ethereum continues to move up. I would love to see Ethereum hit that $5,000 mark. Again, I know that that's a little bit of a push. Some people are going to say that's not a push at all. It's going to 10,000, which I understand, but I am a relatively conservative estimator when I do this stuff. So yeah, looking at around 4,600 for Ethereum next. If I expect it to pull back anywhere, the main support for Ethereum on two different folds is going to be the 50 EMA, which is going to be just around $2,700, and also this previous high, which is going to be around $2,600 to $2,700. So lots of area and room for Ethereum to improve, lots of it to healthily pull back. Is that a word? Healthily? Lots of room for it to be very healthy and pull back and still have a great run continued after this. There's lots of room in between, a little bit of a gap in support in between 3,000 and 4,000 on Ethereum, but that's okay because that happens with every parabolic run up. And hopefully it will kind of find its happy price and continue to be bullish from here. So time will tell. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this analysis. If you guys did, hit that like and subscribe button as we got a lot more content like this one coming in the future. Tomorrow we will be having a Bitcoin analysis coming, because Bitcoin seems to be like it is the one lagging behind as altcoins are soaring to the moon. And we have a little bit of an insight on this because this happened back in 2017, 2018 when Bitcoin took off, then lagged behind. And then the altcoins took off and Bitcoin lagged behind, and then the mega crash happened, and just a little bit of a sneak peek of what's to come. There are some historical analysis things to observe at this area. So once again, guys, I hope you guys did. If you did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and drop me a comment in the comment section down below. But until next time, I will see all of you in the next video.